So I might take maybe an half an hour or so. It's an introductory session wherein I'm just going to talk about what is this whole Shiksha initiative, the purpose, who all can take part into it, and what can you expect out of it. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Pashatai Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna, welcome everyone for this Shiksha initiative that we just recently started. Let me just give you a little background and then we'll talk about it. I may take 30 minutes of time, and then in case if anyone has any questions about this, we can talk about it. Let me show you something, then you'll have a better understanding. Hare Krishna. Can you please sign me in the mobile so I know what's going on the screen? So I hope all of you are able to see this little chart or little map here. I had made this almost 2 years ago. This is prior to COVID time, and this was a part of my plan for the community development, which I had done here. 1 second. Pause. Yeah. This is something which I had created a plan for community development, where we start with Gita Wisdom Initiative, and then we continue. It's a several year program. Srila Prabhupada, when he founded ISKCON, then he gave several mission statements, and one of the first mission statement of ISKCON, on which this ISKCON was founded, was to disseminate systematic education to the people at large, where they can systematically understand the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, etc. Scriptures, they are not meant for random studying. They need to be studied systematically. Just like you go through your education, the modern education system, you systematically grow in your understanding. That's the same idea. So this was an initiative that we created, but what would happen down the line, many people would join us or would come over, let's say this is after 1 year, and they'll come and join the program after 1 year. And then some people would join after, when the initiative is already going for 2 years, etc., etc. So when people would join in between, so how do we take care of them? Let's say somebody joins after close to 1.5 months or 1.5 year, and he joins at the point of where we have more detailed study of Bhagavad Gita. So I had a practical problem where people were joining in and they were not given proper education from the beginning. That was the first thing, because people joining at different times. Second thing, there is a lot of content available online for hearing as well as for reading. Many times people will come and ask me, what should I read and what should I hear? Which is a good question, in fact a very important question. But unless I would know what is the level of faith of an individual, what is the practice of an individual in his or her spiritual life, to what degree they are able to follow the various principles that we have in Bhakti life, it becomes very difficult, or was becoming very difficult for me to really serve them in a proper consciousness, to give them a proper guidance. So there were some of these obstacles that we were facing in terms of really helping people to get connected and grow in a systematic way. Considering this, therefore, we came up with this Shiksha program, where you all are aware of their 5 levels, where you sign up, fill in your information based on, we can take off the screen, right? Yeah. So where you fill in the information, and then based on what information you feed then we select and we assign a particular level. So imagine if any one of you come and ask me, what should I read and hear? I would definitely ask you, what level are you? And you tell me, let's say you're on Krishna Sadhaka level, so I know what books you should be reading and what you should be hearing about it. I'll show you what content we have for reading and hearing. That's the whole thing. Second thing, this is about how it all started. To whom this program, for whom this program is meant. Largely, this program is meant for the audience who are connected with me or with this community here. So therefore, we have a system of a mentor. They have been assigned a mentor to personally guide them if in case they have any query regarding their spiritual growth. So when you sign up for the program, you have to select a mentor. There are a couple of mentors. We're going to add more mentors because the system has just started. So therefore, I had to put my name also in the beginning. So like that, mentors are assigned. But because in the last 2 years, things became online, so we have a lot of community which is online and are connected to us. So if in case you happen to be one of them, wherein you already have a mentor, you can call that person as a mentor, Shiksha Guru, or a counselor, facilitator, etc. If you have any one of them, then that person ideally should be telling you what you should be reading and hearing because you have chosen that person. So what to do if in case you already have that relationship and taking guidance from someone else? Can you sign up for this program? This was another common question asked to me. So my stand on this thing is yes, you can join, but in that case, please do not select a mentor. Because if you happen to select a mentor from this forum, then there would be a little bit of conflict in terms of who should be guiding you or from whom you should be taking guidance. So in our current system, when you feed in that you have a already a mentor and counselor, then by default you are assigned just my name for the sake of education, not for the personal guidance in terms of your growth. So that was the aspect of it. Now for a growth of an individual in bhakti, there are 3 things which are required: Siddhanta, Sadachar and Seva, triple S formula. So we already have courses defined just like all of you saw on the slide, different courses based on Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata, etc. So that covers a lot of Siddhanta, philosophy, some part of Sadachar. But a dedicated program on Sadachar was missing in our forum. Last year, if you remember, we had started a Bhakti Life initiative. We had almost 8 to 10 sessions under it, which was online during the COVID time. And then because Janmashtami came, then Kartik month came, we didn't continue. So now the plan is for all of you who have signed up for this, or in case if you just want to attend the sessions, twice in a month we'll have discussions on Saturday evening, probably on the first and the third Saturday of the month, on the Sadachar topic. Sadachar topic refers to etiquettes. Vaishnava etiquette is an ornament for a devotee. How should we behave? The culture, the Sanskriti, what we have or what we understand through Vedic paradigm is quite different from the world we live in. Vedic paradigm teaches us the Sanskriti of sacrifice, serving others. But in the modern world, the Sanskriti is how I can exploit others. So there's a 180-degree shift in the consciousness, and also a lot of principles on cleanliness, punctuality, time management, resource management, financial management, family management, many things comes into that subject matter. How to chant effectively, what's the importance of morning program, how to read Srila Prabhupada books in a systematic manner. And of course, there will be several trainings that we'll be organizing, from studying Srila Prabhupada books to conducting programs based on Srila Prabhupada books. So that will all be covered in the Sadachar topic. And those of you who are connected here, locally present, then of course, will have an opportunity for Seva. So if somebody have these 3 things in his life or her life, Siddhanta, Sadachar and Seva, that I would call that person having a wholesome growth in spiritual life. To give it a equivalent in an English language, the concept is called as triangle of life. Triangle of life means to be a successful, really a wholesome personality, a person needs 3 things in his life and needs to harmonize on that. What are the 3 things? First thing is loving relationships. So that's the reason we are creating a system of a mentor. where you come together, and of course with along different Vaishnavas. Today being a common session, I might not ask, if in case time permit, I might ask all of you to just briefly introduce yourself. But when we'll start our mentor program, then we'll create a family culture. We will have open-ended question, answer, discussion, interaction, presentation by all of you, etc. So first concept is in the triangle of life, which means to be a successful and wholesome person. First thing is loving relationship. So that gets taken care by this mentor relationship that we are creating. Second is self-development. Self-development is very essential. We need to be growing. We need to be learning. To learn is a need of an individual, and to grow. So that is taken care under Siddhanta and Sadachar topics that will be training you and creating a lot of training options for all of you. So loving relationship, second is self-development, and the third very essential thing is social contribution, to give back to the society. You only have relationships, you only are taking in, will have indigestion. How many of you agree? If you don't have an opportunity to give back to society, to share what you have learned with others, if you don't have that opportunity, it doesn't work out. So third thing is social contribution, and this is called as triangle of life. So this is what an English equivalent of Sadachar, Siddhant and Seva. Is making sense? I'm sorry, I had not planned it because I just came running from another program. Otherwise, I would have used a whiteboard and drawn for something for all of you. So that's the whole idea for this initiative, because I have been focusing a lot on Siddhant. I have been having quite a lot programs that we do on Siddhant, but to conduct Sadachar topics, we need a smaller group, a dedicated group, a serious group, and where there is already a set of a familial understanding, where we have a trustworthy relationship, so that discussion on Sadachar topics becomes more meaningful. So I had been waiting for that opportunity, so I thought, why don't we start this Shiksha initiative? Let's institutionalize our training, and when we have a system for it, and the person has a way to measure his or her own progress. Many times people ask, or people have this question about their own growth. How is my growth in Krishna consciousness? So to recognize and acknowledge one's growth is also the purpose of this program. Based on how much you have understood, how your learning is happening. So we have the stages from Shraddhavan, Krishna Sadhak, Krishna Sevak, then we have Srila Prabhupada Ashray and Shri Guru Charan Ashray. And Shri Guru Charan Ashray is not the end of the journey, it's a ongoing journey. It's a lifelong thing, we'll continue with. There's so much to read and hear and study, so that will go on. So this is the mota high level thing about this whole program and initiative. I'll just briefly show you, for those of you who have signed up, the way we have designed it in such a way that for every day you have a dedicated class to hear and you have something to read. So now you don't have to rack your brain and to think and figure out what to hear and read. How many of you would agree with the fact that you face a challenge? Let's say you have a library full of books and you feel like today I want to read, and when you go there, and let's say you have 45 minutes as part of your schedule that you can take out to read, it takes almost 30 minutes to surf through the books. Which book should I select to read? And by the time you take out the book from the shelf and open it to read, your 45 minutes goes away. How many of you agree with this? I'm just giving an example of bookshelf. If you not have a bookshelf, it can hold true for anything. So first of all, you're taking out time for it is a big thing. So we need to create a system where we facilitate that your time is valued. So therefore, we have shortlisted the books. It's not that I have done it. It's done by various seniors coming together. They've shortlisted the books to be read in these levels. I have just contributed in shortlisting some lectures for all of you. So the lectures for at different levels for everyday hearing is largely Srila Prabhupada's lectures, and which is most on Siddhant. And for Sadachar aspect, we have lectures largely from His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. In case if you are aspiring from somebody else, please let me know and I'll find out lectures of that respective spiritual master also to help, to have hearing from that if possible for me. And then the third thing that we have is the courses that as part of Evolve Pune I have designed in the last few years based on Bhagavad Gita, etc., which becomes a weekly hearing. 1 or 2 classes in a week of those courses, and then everyday hearing and reading. Of course, this is not something which you have to do it. At my end, I have created a system. So those who have that opportunity, they're able to take part into it. For those who cannot do it every day, they can, let's say, they can only take out half an hour every day for hearing, and let's say 15 minutes for reading. You can do that way also. So facilities created, you see, you figure it out how to use it, how to take advantage of it, and whoever mentor you have selected for yourself, discuss with that person. This is my time, how should I utilize my time? And like that, we hop from one level to another level. And then when you come to Srila Prabhupada Ashray, for there we have kept a training like ISKCON Disciple course, and then somebody who comes to Sri Guru Charan Ashray, Bhakti Shastri course, Bhakti Vaibhav course, teachers training course, many other courses we're going to add over there, like that. That's the whole thing. So let me just quickly show you a website. So what's going to be there? So when you come onto the website, this is the course which is added for Srila Prabhupada Ashray, which is a detailed study of Bhagavad Gita, as you can see here. So there are almost, 30-40 episodes. So you can take it as a weekly hearing, once or twice in a week. And then you have download the audio lectures. There, when you open this, it will open in a Google Drive, and there will be L1, L2, L3 folders. You can start with L1, where there will be lectures from Prabhupada, and some important topics that I had found in my study all these years, which I felt relevant for all of you. And then there is a duration given for this program. So ideally, this program should be completed within 18 months. Considering I have not taken into consideration everyday class. I have taken 3 classes from here in consideration. Then it takes 18 months. Some of you, if you are able to hear every day, can finish it sooner. And then those who have been assigned this level by your selected mentor, so you don't have to worry which book to read. You come over here, you understand which book to read. So you start from second chance, you finish it, move on to Krishna book, teachings of Prahlad Maharaj, Bhagavad Gita, etc. I do have a plan, let's see, Krishna willing, with all of your prayers and blessings if possible. I would also like to organize quizzes for all of these books, so that there is a way to actually really measure how well you have studied this book, so you can kind of figure it out. So that's the point about it. So this is the program at large. We have this English, we will also have it Hindi, because many devotees are asking for Hindi. So we'll be releasing about it in maybe another 2-3 weeks. So same thing would happen for the Hindi audience. Only thing is, all of these things have been translated in Hindi language. That's the only thing. So this is the program at large. Any questions, any comments about it? So this was an introduction to let you know how this is going to work out. Either you're part of this community or you're outside of community connected with some other ISKCON center, you're welcome to come and attend the educational initiatives and continue to render services whichever ISKCON forum you are. Please remember the formula, the triangle of life. In Sanskrit, you can call it as Siddhanta, Sadachar, and Seva. In English, you can call it as self-development, loving relationships, and social contribution. If you want, you can draw this for yourself and see how much you are able to give justice to all 3. Are you able to have ongoing self-development? Are we having loving relationships? If not with many, with some devotees with whom we can do Bhuyam Akhyati Prachati. And am I able to make some contribution, social contribution? That's the whole idea, to empower devotees, every individual, to harmonize these 3 things in their life and become a successful sadhaka. Thanks to each and every one of you for joining in. This is the English part of it. We'll also be having a Hindi version of it. I shall be making an announcement about it in the next 2 to 3 weeks. All right. Thank you all once again. Hare Krishna, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhu Sri Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.